Team Wilder, like delayed this, delayed this.
Yeah, man. Listen, so you just look at this. Look at boxing. Look at the history of our sport. Look at fighters of this magnitude. We've seen where heard something from everybody involved. I don't know if I missed it. I don't watch much TV. What I'm saying is, I've seen anything said by Deontay Wilder. From a little comment when Dylan White got turned over. That's it. It's shameful. You can talk about that one little thing, but you can't talk about anything else. But so he's got some growing up to do. And again, you can only surmise what's happening behind the scenes. Rumours that are set out are clever rumours because you can say, well, how can you say that? If anybody said, that's stupid. Why did you say that? I said, I didn't say that.
Those are the words of Johnny Nelson as he mentioned some points about Deontay Wilder, and he questioned, why is Wilder quiet? Of course, that's the $1 million question. A lot of channels are trying to, or a lot of opinions, a lot of people are trying to spin it in a certain way. But at this point, what Johnny said is that Wilder can, when Dillian White got knocked out, he can make a comment about Dillian White, or what people think is what he was talking about Dillian White, but he can't talk about anything else, and he also said that he feels that Deontay Wilder has some growing up to do, grow up. And that's not the only person that said that. Okay, a lot of people have said that about Wilder, and this is before he took a long hiatus, Actually, this was right after that. And Wilder himself, I think, again, I don't know what's going on with him, but it makes a lot of sense what Johnny Nelson said. It's one thing, it's a hell of a thing to talk about someone else, but then when you can't talk about yourself, that's a totally different problem. People will see that, like, wait a minute. You've got 100,000 rumors going on about you, but then something happens to a particular person, then you have nothing really to say. However, Dillian White, him mentioning Dillian White was kind of was a misdemeanor compared to how Dillian White talked about him. So to be fair, Dillian White ginsued Deontay Wilder, laughed, roasted, boasted, cheered, and Wilder, of course, he didn't say anything to anybody for any reason. Now, up until this point, I think it's something people will always have something to say about Wilder if Wilder has nothing to say about himself. People will draw their own conclusions. And people will look at it like, okay, will this guy ever be the same? And another question in this interview that was asked to Johnny Nelson, did he deliberately do this? Because it's almost like, again, if his team, if they were the ones that implemented the crap in the contract, I know the coronavirus and all that, but if they didn't take that as a warning or a precaution of something that possibly could have happened, they're not doing the job. But were they doing the job? Was it deliberate? Was it that type of thing like, hey, let's just go ahead and we're going to, because I think that Wilder wanted to fight. I honestly think he did. So I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit here and say, oh, he never wanted it. I don't think he wanted it. I don't think he wanted it after a certain point. I think initially he wanted it. Maybe he went back and seen it and, or whatever. Maybe Mark Breland, why did he wait so long to fire Mark Breland? Maybe Mark Breland told him something that he didn't really want to hear. And he was like, you know what? Fuck that. You're gone. Maybe maybe, I don't know. I just thought it was strange that Mark Breland got fired way after the fact. Now, it was told to me that he got fired the night of that fight. But, of course, we have conflicting reports about that. So, who knows what the true truth is? Who knows? Because, Mark Breland won't talk to anybody. So we really don't know about that. However, the more you hear of interviews like this, the more it's imperative for Deontay Wilder to say something. Because now he's lost. There should be no reason for Deontay Wilder to stay quiet. It should be no reason. This is not Wilder that I know. This is not Wilder that anybody knows. And to counterpunch this, to chop it up in a nutshell, to wrap this up in a nutshell, I think people that support Wilder will get eventually tired of trying to explain what he's doing. Now, you got to give the dedication to the people that do. Like, oh, the silence is killing them. The silence is killing these guys. No, what's happening, he's losing credibility because people are drawing their own conclusions. It ain't killing nobody. You know, the thing is, it's just showing and enlightening people that the more he stays in quiet, the more people are going to think he's hiding. The more people think he's hiding, the more people think he's scared. The more people think he's scared, the more people think that he doesn't want to fight and avenge his loss. And if any of those are the case, he should be man enough to bring his ass forward and talk like he's always been doing before the loss. Counterpunch. It's simple. But for him to grow up a little, if that means him speaking up for himself, yeah, I got to agree with. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Johnny Nelson's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.